Good morning, traders. Welcome back. The one and only TTP Live, ready to get back into the market and at least starting the morning off right. It's been a little bit of a tough start to the week, right? And that can happen sometimes. So, had a decent Monday, then a tough Tuesday and Wednesday. Let's have a hell of a Thursday today, guys. So, kicking it off, let's go ahead. We'll talk all about the action that's going on right now. We did get PPI right now that shook up the market. It did do a down action, but there's a wick on the downside and the upside now. Let's talk all about it in today's show. We'll get right to the action. There's no need to wait. Let's kick things off. TTP Live.
Wants 200, baby.
You ready to get back to the trading action?
You aim, you shoot, and make money. It's going to be a great day. You guys know where you're at.
What up out there, traders? Let's talk about what's going on in the market today. Excited to take a look to see what's happening out there. And of course, like always, trying to figure out what's going on right now with this market. I think we could have a down day, and I think that the momentum in the market has been so strong. We had a new all-time high, right? And that all-time high was in the NASDAQ, and we also had a new high in Tesla yesterday. And you guys know I was going after it short. I got cut up in the trade later in the day and missed some of the action. And the truth is, I was still able to get some good money, just not as much as I thought I would get on the trade. And so, hey, I went 1 for 3 on it yesterday. So we'll see what happens today, guys. Taking a look to see what I can find. The SPY is kind of chopping right now, and you guys can see it pulled back there to the 605.50s, but something definitely to take a look at. I will be talking about different things in the market today, and there's something that just caught my attention that I do want to talk about. It has to do with Apple, but we'll talk about that coming up here. Another stock that I'm seeing up right now in the pre-market is ETHU, and of course, that's the Ethereum ETF. So are we starting to see another rally? Right. And then I clearly had that pull back to 10. Now it's back there towards 1150s. Could take the next move to the upside. And of course, that's Ethereum getting the lift. And we need to keep a look to see if we maybe get some other lift, right? Will we get some kind of clean spark? Will we get some Mara, some of the miners to make the move, right? They haven't been making the move. They've been kind of stuck, really. And I think that you got to continue to watch them and just wait to see a real rally. What do I mean by a real rally? Something that starts to break some of these weeklies, right? So if you take a look at it, and you know what? This has gone sideways for long enough. Let's just erase everything. Start over. Because sometimes that's what you got to do. Just start over. Take a look at the chart now versus how you saw it in the past, right? So I can see this trend line that we went back to, keep rejecting, where it could go right back into below this kind of 1378, cut the next support, which is 12, and you could be right back at $8. So it doesn't mean that it's always going to stay up here. That's going to depend more on the underlying asset itself. Now, there's one thing that is certain now. If it can hold this kind of 1242 today and start to turn back to the upside above the 13s, let's say going towards the 14s today, that's kind of the reversal that you're looking for. Of course, you can wait to see the reversal or try to play it on the day one move. So to me, playing it today would be more of that day one move. Once it gets to 14 and starts to make its way towards 16, that's kind of more of your day two move, right? So we'll see what happens with CleanSpark and some of the other minor names. And you can watch, of course, the platforms. The platforms seem to go up regardless, right? And so Coin is one that I'd put on your radar today as it's holding the 9 EMA. And what has it done? It's made a couple of runs up here already, right? And so we're going to look to see what happens now. You've made it up here 1, 2, 3 times. I always talk about that on the 4th attempt, it needs to break out. If not, you could fail through the support. So that fail would be back down below the 300. But right now, we'll look to see if we can get to that 340 and 350. What's going on out there in the chat? How we doing this morning? It's good to see you guys in the chat this morning. Say hello if you're new to the show. And sorry if you guys had some troubles finding us this morning. I know that we got the stream up late, so hey, I'm going to put that on my fault. Like always, guys, got to get this up as early as possible for you guys. But I'm happy to see you guys in the chat. Say hello. It's good to see you guys. Vic, Future, what's up, man? Good morning to you. Let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on out there. And everybody, let's get after it today. Let's see what we can do. Down to 4 stocks. No more for the rest of the year. AMD, Nvidia, Micron, Palantir. Yeah, I mean, how did that Micron finish yesterday? I mean, that was a nice lift off that 100. I was thinking about playing that VWAP bounce, and that was yesterday, right? That should have been more of the play, right? Because we never saw the Qs really break, and right here is where I was talking about it on that 100 break. It went right back up there, got up there towards the 101, and then eventually 102. Really nice move there in Micron. Now, what's happening? It's right back down. I mean, that's just how it goes right now. Back and forth action. We'll see what happens. Back down towards the 99, and I wouldn't want this stock. So we'll see what happens with this one. This is Micron Technology. And of course, we can take a look at the other names like NVIDIA. Those look like they're about to break. NVIDIA looks like it's about to fall off the tape here. And this is the stock that could drive us lower, right? I've talked about it. But what would I want to see? I want to see rotation continue in Apple. I've talked about how Apple could outperform NVIDIA in 2025 and how Apple could be the next AI stock, not necessarily NVIDIA. And so what did I see today that really hit the tapes? It's interesting. Well, Apple yesterday rolled out updates for iPhone, iPad, and Mac, introducing a highly anticipated Chat GPT integration with Siri as a part of its AI suite. Apple Intelligence, of course. And so ChatGPT, now Siri can handle complex questions, redirecting them to OpenAI's ChatGPT and using the ChatGPT 4.0 model after the user's consent. Apple ensures privacy by preventing OpenAI from storing requests. So your information and data that you go and you submit to Siri is not being stored in OpenAI. It's still being stored, I think, somewhere in Apple, but that's in their ecosystem. And then at least they're keeping it in their ecosystem. Versus, let's say, a different one. I'll give you guys the insight. So I have, of course, a Samsung phone. And what are they offering me? Well, they're offering me the Android and the Gemini. So Gemini is trying to go ahead and give me AI for my data. But I read in the consent and I said no to this. Why? Because my messaging data would essentially be stored on these large language models. That's what I don't want. And so I think it's a great move here by Apple specifically telling you that where the data is going and that the request will not be on ChatGPT's data. Because, of course, let's just be honest. Do we want to give all our messages out to everybody? Maybe not to everybody, right? I mean, you know, majority of the times they're going to probably steal my trade ideas, but we won't talk about that. Let's go ahead. We'll take a look around in the market. But something to think about here with Apple, and I think it's something to watch, right? Of course, the ease of access comes into play. Apple's intelligence is definitely updating. It launched in October. It featured things like text editing tools, immersive Siri design, notification summaries. Future updates promise enhanced Siri capacities, including in-app actions. So, hey, stay tuned, guys, because I think we're just starting in Apple Intelligence. So it's something to think about. And definitely, you can see it from Apple. It's outperforming all the big boys. And there's a reason why. Money for my mentality, and just from what I see out there, NVIDIA's getting sold and Apple's being bought, baby. We'll see what happens with that one if it can keep riding high. All right, Uber up this morning, but starting to drop a little bit. We'll look to see if it catches a little bit of a dip by here. Let's take a look at the overall market here. The SPY coming back and forth. Of course, the PPI number coming in. And the PPI number wasn't the worst, right? PPI, of course, core PPI came in at 3.4 versus a 3.2 estimate. So a little spike there in the core PPI. And then the year over year PPI is where things get a little bit scary today, guys. So this is why I feel like we could have downside action today and why some of my playbook is just going to be on the bearish side. So What am I looking at, guys? I'm looking at short IonQ and potentially shorting Tesla again. Now, there is one growth name I can look at, which is going to be Unity. But Unity is one that I'm just keeping an eye on because it's on the 9 EMA. So it's a 9 EMA setup off the 26. Of course, this is a metaverse leader, and it's catching some buzz, of course, with the crypto growth fueling interest in gaming and the metaverse. I think this pullback to the 9 EMA could offer a solid entry point. Can this growth stock rally again? I think it's something to look at. If we have a good day, yes, this one could rally. But if we have a bad day, I might be looking for an IonQ takedown. This already got cut down yesterday. You guys remember I wanted to short QMCO yesterday, and that was around 24, I think it was, or 25. And look at the action that happened yesterday. This thing just tumbled and tumbled. It was a 23. It was when it was cutting 23. It was at 22.80s, I remember. And this thing came down to $18, and it could go lower today. It got all the way up there to 25 and could start breaking down. So QUBT is another one that I'll look to see if the signals show us that this is breaking further down. Yeah, so I'm definitely going to be looking to see what happens with these quantum computing plays. I just feel like they've gone too far. And if you guys are in agreement, let me know in the chat. Are you guys bullish IonQ or bearish IonQ? Put a 1 if you're bullish it. Put a 2 if you're bearish it. Like always, just for a fun example here, but we'll see what happens there in IonQ. I'm excited for later today, guys. Later today, we'll be having none other than my man, Jorge, or the champion, the champ, the myth, the legend will be joining us. Hey, not a worry, not a worry. All right, we'll see what happens there in IonQ. Can it come crashing down below that? The 29 will be a watch. And another thing to look at is hourly resistance coming into play. So the hourly resistance would be a move to 31.68 and then a hit down. We'll see what happens with this one. Does it just flush through the 28? Very much could happen. And of course, Google was jumping on that quantum computing action, and now it's actually coming down on it. So this is another thing that I'm looking at. Tesla, guys, already dropping fast, guys. I was almost shorting 426 or 427 in the pre-market. Annoyed that I didn't go after it because the truth is it's already down, what, 7 points. So it's very hard to go shorting now, guys. And that was right around 8:30 when the number came out. So really good levels to look there at the 427s. Now it just keeps going lower. A little frustrating for me now because now we're about like 10 points off from the high. The whole idea of this was to play the reversal, and now it's already getting reversed in the pre-market. That's tough for me, guys. I'll tell you guys the truth. I'm a little upset that I didn't just take the pre-market action. I had some money too. I had 315, but of course I had just a couple of things that I was looking at while I was trying to set up there. 830, really good level off the 427. Tesla going lower here. We'll see how other stocks can continue going down. I'm looking at AMD. That looks like it's a little bit weak here. Could come right back down. NVIDIA, really weak here. And that's a sign of concern. If Amazon can turn around to the downside today, and they could, because I think this is just extended on the upside, and now could come back towards like the 224, 225 spot. That's 4 points down on Amazon today. And Microsoft has been trying to rip through the 450s, but it might make an attempt first to this 9 EMA and try to recollect some volume and then make the next move. So I'd be watching for that action. Meta is another name that has been trying to continue the strength, but now could start to pull back a little bit. But Meta's been strong, so I don't feel too against Meta here, but I think it could come back at least to these 9 EMAs. It just makes sense for us to get back towards a 9 EMA after extension doesn't want to go. Well, a lot of times you pull back to the support. All right, what's going on out there, traders? How we doing? Good morning to you guys. What are you guys looking at in the market today? Throw up a stock. Let me know if you guys have anything that you guys want to take a look at. I'll definitely catch it here. All right, let's keep it going. All right, let's keep going, guys. We'll see what else is out there. But Meta, yeah, definitely not looking bad at all. Let's go to Costco here. Costco reaching 1,000. Yes, yes, guys. 1,000. You guys heard that right. I still remember when this thing was at like 500 and trading dead. It has made a 100% move since 2023. That just goes to show you, instead of buying food at Costco, we should have been buying the stock at Costco. And if anything, should have been working at Costco and trying to get a split or some stock adjustment there. Maybe they give you a match at Costco, but holy moly, man. If you think about this, right? If you got Costco back earlier in its life, maybe even before the 2020, you are just absolutely murdering it. This is the type of stock that you just have in your investment account and you don't look back. 240% from 2020. It's absolutely crazy on Costco. All right, guys. All right, we'll take a look around out there, guys. I'm seeing Costco making a little bit of that move there. We'll see if it can continue. Walmart, of course, on the watch there. And I'm seeing Target even get a little bit of a lift. Of course, Target came with that horrible news. It's slowly climbing back here. We'll see what happens there in, of course, Target. All right, guys, just give me 1 second, guys. Got some things on the back here. I remember when Costco was 20 bucks. Man, what an investment, Vic. I mean, really, those are the ones that we need to be thinking about long-term, guys. I know that we do a lot of trading here, but don't forget long-term stocks, because at the end of the day, guys, what are we all looking for? There's a little extra cash in retirement, right? I don't think any of us would be too upset about having a stock up 240%, especially a stock like Costco. All right, guys, just give me 1 quick second. I got to check something in the background here, make sure everything's ready to go. And like always, guys, smash the like. There's a lot more going on here. I'm going to get to the sunrise report as soon as I get back, and we'll talk a little bit about some stocks that are moving. We do have, of course, some stocks that are getting some information today. Adobe, Chewy. We'll talk about Service Titan, a new IPO. Yes, will be released today. Palantir mentions coming up. And, of course, Celsius Holdings. That's one that I was talking about before these analysts started seeing it. But you know the lemmings, they always come in. So we'll talk about it just coming up here. I'm going to put my screen up here, full charts. I can also put up, maybe let's put up a scanner here for you guys. I always like to do this when I walk away to give you guys what's moving out in the market right now. So let's go ahead. Let's do that. I'll bring up my pre-market scanner here. And you guys can see clearly there's one stock that's starting to get a lift here, SRFM. So Surf Air Mobility. Actually, this is an interesting play here off the 428s. Let's see if it starts to go to the 460s here. Nice pullback to the 9 EMA. This is up my alley, but I'm going to go focus on what I got to do. Get ready for the open here. A lot to take a look at there. Ooh, look at this one. Just took off there. APVO. What a move there, guys. APVO. That thing just spiked there from what? From $10 to $19. Are you kidding me? 100%. It's at 15 right now. Little part of me feels like getting 50 shares just for the hell of it. And look at that. That jumped $1 there on the bid. It was at 15 there just for that is ridiculous, guys. This stock is moving all over the place. Be careful out there, guys. APVO, absolute crazy stock right now, guys. Be careful, but this thing is moving. I'm also seeing NNE show up there. So that's your nuclear, nano nuclear starting to get a lift here today. Definitely keep this one on watch, guys. SMR is being on watch right now. It's doing a nice recovery, nice volume coming in here today. But I still think it could come back to this 2330s first before we get the complete turnaround above this trend line. All right, guys, I got to go check on some things. I'll be right back. Here's the scanner for you guys. Keep getting after it. All right, traders, I'm back. Money Mitch is back, guys. Let's get to the market. Let's take a look there. APVO, what a crazy stock right now, guys. This thing went absolute bananas just a second ago, guys. Went down there to $13, now coming back up for this 1560s. It looks interesting for me, guys. It's just so hard to trade a name like this. You have to go low size and thinking that it could go towards like a $4 move there. So that's the key, I think, to thinking about here. So I'd be trading with maybe like, for me, it's like down to like 25 to 50 shares is more like something that I could trade here, but this is very hard. Take a look at the volume too. It's crazy on this APVO. I have no idea why this thing is moving like this, but let's take a look to see if we can find out. I'm going to bring in the scanner here, and this is exactly what I would do, right? And you can see here, there's some other names that are moving, right? We'll see what happens here, guys. It's 908. Can we get another move here? Let's take a look to see if there's any details on this APVO of why it's getting such a big lift. Well, here it says that it's trading higher after the company announced that all 3 patents in its cohort 1 bispecific AML trial achieved remission within 30 days. So all good news. So pretty much good data here causing the spike. It went all the way up there to 19. This thing was trading at $10. So essentially on the spike, it was an 80% spike there. Crazy on that action here. We'll see what happens there on this name. It's trying to hold the 15, but could pull back a couple more times before we actually get the lift. I'm looking at this as more on the 5 minute, and I'd like to see it come to 12 or maybe 13 again, and then start to see the lift. If it rips off of here, it's really tough to play, right? I mean, I could take it here, but I'd have to hold pretty much for like $1 risk, understanding that, and then looking for the push higher. And that's tough, right? Because if you're risking about $1, right, or $2, well, you got to be careful, and you got to be able to make at least what? Probably like $4 to $6 on the upside. So we'll see what happens there. All right, guys, we'll see what happens with this APVO. This $15 seems to be an interesting area, but it's going to be a tough trader. That's for sure. All right, guys, we'll see if this gets right back above the 15 and continues to the upside. Pally is the one that I made money on this morning. Let's talk a little bit about that trade real quick. And I'm glad I got in and out of this trade, guys, because it was looking like it was going to break out, but it didn't break out here. It actually came back on me. And I'm glad I took the money and ran. Right, so I bought Pally really early on in the morning, guys, and I include the time there so you guys can see that I'm not that guy that lies to you guys. I tell you guys it straight up, right? And that's what it's all about here on TTP Live. So do me the favor, guys. Smash the like if you guys appreciate getting transparency into my trading, because I'll tell you what, there's really no need for me to share all this information. I do it for you guys to learn really off of my trading, because if that's what can happen here, that's what I'm here for, and that's what I want to see, guys. I want you guys to learn off of the trading, right? All right, we'll see what happens on Pally, though. I went after it this morning, got in there around 6:56 to 7, right? I've talked about how the 6:30 to 7 spot seems to be a nice area for me. So that was right here as it started to break back above the 3s, right? So I was just trying to fill in there. It did pull back right towards this 3, and it got a little scary here around the 7 o'clock time, right? But right at the 7 o'clock time, we did get that spike right here out of this. It pulled back towards this 3. We got the spike, and this was looking great. I was like, okay, nice spike to 340s. This is looking good. Can it get to 350s? Can it keep going? I said, you know what? I'm going to take the 330s. That's a nice $300. Let's take that and run away from this one. Pally, not a bad looking move there. We'll look to see if it can keep going today. And of course, there was another name that was moving fast, which was Xena. I don't know if you guys caught this one, but this one was a monster ride up from 6. I thought 7 wasn't a bad buy there. I was watching it as it first approached 7. It went all the way up there to 8 and then back down. It was around the 680 level that we saw a little spike, and then it just kind of started to catch some traders. So we'll see what happens with Xena, but it's not a bad one to watch here out the gates. We'll see what happens on this one. Definitely smash the like, guys. Xena, not looking too bad this morning. Let's go over to the Sunrise Report and talk a little bit about what's going on in the market today. Of course, big action off of the PPI. PPI coming in a little bit hot. So something definitely to take a look at. Let's take a look at Adobe, because Adobe is moving, and it's moving down, guys. It took a big beating. It slid 8% after issuing Q1 revenue guidance of $5.63 billion and $5.68 billion, missing the $5.73 billion estimate. Despite beating on adjusted EPS and prior quarter revenue, the outlook disappointed investors. And I think that we're starting to see stocks really starting to get hit on their earnings. And that's a little bit of a danger sign, right? And so earnings are what's needed to continue the bull party, right? So in this case, it looks like Adobe's starting to look heavy. And we're starting to see some softwares that don't look as strong as they did. So I'd keep an eye out on some software names today to see how they perform, right? And that's going to be a very important outlook. You're talking your Microsoft, you're talking Oracle, right? Oracle's been so strong. That's one to look at. Look how it's coming down and breaking support today. A lot of these are starting to break trend a little bit. Palantir, a part of that, right? So we can take a look to see if they start to really break trend now, and we start to like kind of lose some altitude here. And we're looking in software names, right? So keep your eyes on that. A lot of these names have been strong. One of the strongest movers of the year, GoDaddy. GoDaddy's been an absolute monster stock this whole year, guys. An absolute monster. I can't even believe when I look at this chart of GoDaddy. I mean, who would have thought that GoDaddy would have took off like that? Well, if you were thinking AI, that's exactly the reason. And yes, we'll be bringing on Jorge in just a second here, guys. I just want to go do one more stock here on the Sunrise Report, and then we'll bring on my man Jorge. He's in the back. I'm excited to bring him on. Chewy getting some alert this morning and some news. It definitely was moving nearly 3% in the extended trading hours. But what did it do? It announced the 500 million share offering. So not what you want to see, right? Chewy won't benefit financially, as it will repurchase 50 million in shares from Buddy Chester. I don't think this is the good news at all here in Chewy. So definitely you got to be careful with Chewy today. It could push back above the 32s, but I'll be looking for a flush down towards the 30s. We'll see what happens there in Chewy. But enough of my talking, enough of the market right now. Let's go talk to the man, the myth, the legend, Jorge, the champion from the competition. And definitely got to give a shout out, and everybody sound that alarm, sound the horn, guys. Let's get things going here, guys. You know where you're at. The man, the myth, the legend, Jorge in the house. What's up, my friend?
Hey, what's up? Good morning.
It's good to see you, man. And I definitely got to start it off with, man, I'm proud of you, man. I got to say it, because as a trader that's traded for a long time, what you accomplished is no small feat, my friend. So I do want to tell you that. So definitely congratulations on winning the competition, but more congratulations on having success, right? Because I know it's not easy.
Well, thank you so much, Mitch. I really appreciate that. I mean, I cannot believe it, honestly. You know, before the competition, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do everything I can. My goal is to win, right? To win and prove myself that I'm like a good trader. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I cannot believe it. I mean, it all came with practice. You know, it took me time to be here. You know, a lot of practice, a lot of failures as well. But yeah, I'm happy to be here. You know, I'm like a regular person as everybody. You know, I'm nothing special at all. But yeah, I cannot believe that I'm here with you. But yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy to be here. You know.
Yeah, man, and it sounds like, you know, you were able to find your way, right? And I think that the competition is not easy, right? Because it's all about sizing up, and sizing up is not an easy feat, right? I think that a lot of traders can trade with small size, right? If you really work at it, you can trade with small size. But there's something different when you're trying to make, you know, thousands of dollars, right? Like I always talk about it. There's a lot of stages in trading, right? There's like you just keep losing, and no one wants to be in that stage. But then you get to like the survivor stage, where you just are kind of like a break-even trader. You can trade, but you win, lose some, you win some, you lose some, you win some, and you're just like bouncing back and forth like a ping pong ball, right? Now, the next step is that small winner, where I talk about it. It's like you're the lunch trader. You're just making some lunch money. You're not really making money that's going to change your life. But like when you're getting to this level, like you were in the competition, let's be honest, that's life-changing money, right? I mean, anybody, of course, would love to have that in their account or in their wheelhouse, right? That they could do that. I think that's why we set up the competition. What did the competition show you, Jorge?
The competition showed me that, I mean, I can prove myself that I'm good as I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I have failures, and those failures make me start thinking that, I'm not a good trader because I cannot like overcome these failures or drawdowns.
Mm-hmm.
But the competition helped me know that, because actually, Monday I started hitting the daily max loss.
Mm-hmm.
So I started Monday with that, and I was, oh damn, like, I mean, I'm not sure what's gonna happen, but I'm recover next day. So on Tuesday, that happened, right? On Tuesday, I had a good day. I recovered my loss and ended up the day with a profit. Wednesday, I had a good day as well. Tuesday, Wednesday, those were really good days. Helped me to build a good cushion. Um, and Thursday, I was up like I think 5,000, and then I lost everything and ended up the day again hitting the max daily loss. So Friday was the last day, and I thought, well, this is my last chance, to try to. On Friday morning, I was thinking, okay, maybe I'm not gonna win the competition, but I'm gonna do my best to at least land in the top 10. Because
Mm-hmm.
Friday morning, I was like, I think that's 16 in the rank.
Yeah.
So, but I started, doing my best. For sure, it's a competition. I risk more than regular account
Mm-hmm.
can make more money. But yeah, I was able to build a great cushion Friday morning. Like I think it was like 40,000 cushion on Friday, and
Mm-hmm.
then I hit like the last trade, which put me 134,000. That
Hey, I mean, that's what it's all about. And I think the cushion thing is something that we can learn from, right? Because we can't necessarily always replicate this, right? But maybe we can replicate it with a couple zeros off. That's what I say, right? So maybe it's not, the 130,000, but maybe it's the 13,000, right? Or
yeah.
something like that. That could be attainable, right? Just take off a zero. It's crazy to think about it like that, but you could do the same thing. And I think that that's the way to approach it now, is understanding, okay, so there's a way to go about this where there's the sizing where I can get the money where it's, yeah, good money for me, but at the same time also where is too much, right? Because that's what it is. It's about finding a sweet spot. And in your trading strategy, what is that sweet spot? Because some trading strategies are going to be more for, it has a limit of about how much capital can you really put into that one trade. Because when you put in that much, then the trade stops working so much. And that's something to think about, right? As you keep sizing up and going to different accounts where you're trying to make more money, can my strategy actually scale, right? Because
Mhm.
that's what we're all looking for. Because if we can't scale it, then there's just no point in doing it, right? Because like I said, I mean, you can make 50, 60 bucks consistently often, right? But that's not going to really kind of change your life, right? And I think that that's what we're looking for, is to get to that next level. So of course, Jorge, you did a couple of different trades. What is more up your alley? Are you more looking at penny stocks? Do you look at large cap names? Are you a shorter, long type of trader? Tell me a little bit more about that.
Sure. Yeah. Well, when I started, trading with Trade a Pool a while ago, I started shorting stocks. Because when you go to different brokers, it is hard. You have to locate shorts and do
Yeah.
many things. So I was a long bias trader in the past, but I really never um, found an age, uh, going long. You know, it was making money, but then losing it. But yeah, when I started using Trade the Pool, I started shorting stocks, and I focus on small caps and penny stock as well, like anything below $20.
Okay.
And also I like low float stocks, like something between 2 million to 20 million. And I use MACD a lot.
Okay.
I use it to see what's like the trend of the stock, if it's going down, if it's going down, going up. As I short stocks, I wait until I find a sweet place to start shorting it, which is like close to the high of the day, or Once I see that the MACD crossed down, then I try to catch like a little bounce up to enter and then ride the way down.
Love
And
it. Love it.
I like things that are moving up quickly. I'm usually up 5 a.m. my time, which is 7 a.m. Eastern time,
Mhm.
to watch market. And because after 7 a.m. Eastern time, companies start releasing news, and that makes the stocks move
Yeah.
quickly. And I think it's easy to catch the peak of a stock during pre-market and then ride it all the way down, or not all the way down, but ride it down probably
Yeah.
50% or something like that. So
Yeah, I think I even saw the one just yesterday. What was the one yesterday that went down a pretty good amount? I think it was like CLDT or something like that. It was one that went like I think like from like 15 and then it went all the way back down all day. Oh, CADL. I think was one of those that definitely broke down. Yeah, this one
oh,
exactly. And so similar charts like this, right? I mean, this happens all the time where we see a stock go from, in the morning, it was up there towards like $15, right? 15, 14. And then by even lunchtime, it was already down to $6. So there's a lot of potential reward there. And I think that that's the important part. It's hard to go at these, but I think one of the things that's important too is understanding that this is a strategy that it's all about like just being okay to be wrong a lot of the times.
yeah,
And then when it goes right, it's going to go right and it's going to make a lot of money. You just have to be able to take those haircuts, like I talk about, those little small cuts, be able to get out, understand that sometimes the timing is going to be off. That's really what it is, right? I mean, and it's going to happen, right?
yeah. It happened to me yesterday with CADL, the one that just showed up. I timed it wrong, and I didn't do great with that. Even though it went down a lot, I didn't do a lot of money with that. Actually, it put me $700 down yesterday, CADL. But I was able to recover and ended up the day green. I had a good day yesterday, but yeah, it was like it's just a matter of being patient, wait for the setup to work, and enter at the best time, right? But it's not gonna be perfect all the time, as you said. So you just gotta
Yeah.
be patient. That's
Yeah.
something that Trade Pool helped me a lot because before, like all the different evaluation accounts I have gone through, it was very hard for me to be patient. Like I
Mhm.
wanted to get out like quickly, or I panicked when somebody was selling up a little bit, or I quickly take profit when it was up a little bit. But yeah, Trade Pool helped me to be patient, to really follow my plan, my trading
Mhm.
plan, and yeah, I think that's what really took me to be here as well.
Well, I'm looking forward to you continuing, my friend. One of the things is I do want to get you out of here before 9:30, so you can go focus on your action, right? Like always. I do want to also open the door for you guys because anybody out there, right? If you guys are wanting to come on and trade with me, then hey, come on. The door's open to you. But my most important thing is seeing guys like this right here, trying to push to success. That's why I'm here every day, George, because the truth is, I know the struggle. I've been trading since 2016, really 2014, but really kind of actually trading real money since kind of 2016. And I think that that's what I love to do is just try to give back to you guys. If I can give you guys the slightest little bit of psychological edge and you guys can go and be on top of your game, that's what I'm looking for. So, hey, glad to see that you're going after it, my friend. Glad that you're taking it easy also and understanding that right now what I need to do is maybe build the cushion on this account. So then I can really understand that, yeah, all right, now I have at least the fear is gone. Let me just focus on doing my thing. And I think that's the important thing. You're always going to have a little bit of downside. So that's why I mentioned yesterday, Jorge, to keep in mind, right? What's the monthly goal? What's the kind of weekly goals? Because one day it's very hard to be hard on ourselves because it's one day, right? And it's always going to happen where you run into a little bit of a rut. The best traders can catch it really early, right? They say, hey, I am not on point right now. I am not seeing it right. I'm going to head out, right? That's what the best traders do. They just realize that quickly and more in a faster pace than the traders that struggle with it. They realize they're not doing well And what do they go do? They fight the market. They say, I'm not doing well, and I'm going to put my fist up. No, the opposite, right? I'm not doing well, and I'm going to push back. I'm going to say, market, no, I'm not seeing it right today. Maybe I got it wrong, and that's okay, right? That's where I think some traders get it wrong. Why? Because they're not willing to admit that they're making mistakes, right? We all are going to make mistakes. We're going to be on top of our game, and then the next thing you know, we're falling off, right? It's the traders that can catch that turn and get back to being on top of their game. Because if you work hard, and I can clearly see it because of the results, George, that if you can stay on top of your game, you can make money, right? The question is, can we stay on top, and how do we do that? So any last words of wisdom for the traders out there that are trying to find success like yourself, George?
Yeah. It's, I mean, I have experienced that many times. I made a lot of mistakes, but it's a matter of being patient. It's like a day by day thing. It's not like a race sprint,
Exactly.
right? So it's little by little, and it took me time to understand that. So I wanted to hit home runs all the time, every day, but that didn't bring anything good. So it's just a little, just hit base hits and just be patient. And practice.
Yeah, fall in love with the consistency is an important thing, right? And falling in love with it is very important. Like I always say, it's not 1 week that's going to make you consistent, right? It's when you start looking at like 5, 6, 7 weeks of consistency, then you're like, all right, now I'm really starting to get the hang of it. Let's not lose it. Let's stay focused, stay within our wheelhouse, and like always, understand that there will become a day where we're just struggling. The faster we can hit the brake pedal and understand when we're doing well to hit that gas pedal, that's how we make the money, guys. So, hey, keep pushing, George. I wish you the best of luck, my friend. If you ever need some help, you ever want to talk about trading, understand the doors are open to you. Maybe even just, talking about trading a lot of times when we're in our struggles, it really does help us because there's other traders that have gone through the same struggle like us that can get us back into what? The peak mindset, right? Peak performance. And there's a book, and I'll give you guys a little bit of added bonus to look at. It's called The Observer. It's by a Major League Baseball player that did a lot of like pitching. And so he understood that what we need to do is be an observer of our own mind in the morning. How sharp are we really in the morning? And if we can catch that, then we can be in peak performance. If we're not being that observer and we're being kind of stuck in the future and the present, that's when we start to, the future and the past, that's when we start to make mistakes, right? So be the observer inside your mind, understand when you're on top of the game and when you're not there, it's going to make the difference. Go do your thing, George. I wish you the best of luck today.
Thanks so much. It was a pleasure to be here with you, Mitch.
Always, my friend. Doors open to you. Take care, man. All right, guys, we're going to get to the trading. Trading's opening up there, and I'll be watching some different trades out there. Let's see what I can do today. Of course, I built myself a cushion, so let's go try to use it. All right, that's always great, and definitely happy to have George on today. I'm going to let him go trade in the background like always, right? He's always welcome on to actually trade here, but like always, guys, I don't want to put extra stress on George. He's doing an awesome job already, so I wish him the best of luck today. Get after it, just like I wish all you guys the best of luck. Get after it, man. Go make that money. All right, let's go see what we can do today. Let's go make some money, guys. CADL getting a little bit of a lift here. I'm looking into the scanners out there. APVO, of course, that one's one of the hottest movers right now. So I'll take a look at that. That just got a little pop there to 13. So this is moving all around. I talked about how maybe potentially back at 12, it would be a play again. So it's something to look at. I think you got to wait till it gets hot again, but definitely are the Furus and Gurus going to be looking at this? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's AVPO. We'll see if it starts to get going again. Getting an alert on Crocs. Crocs cutting down a little bit today. I'm going to watch in on this one just on the long run, see if it starts to get the lift here. Let's go to Tesla here. Tesla starting the gates, starting to push to the upside. I'll look to see if it gets through the 430s. The Qs overall down on the gates here to 527, starting to cut down here. We'll see if some other names start to break down. I'm seeing NVIDIA down already. I'm seeing Google down about 0.7. Let's go to IonQ. IonQ getting that little pop here. I'm wondering if it can get to the 32 area and then get faded on, or will it get faded on off of this pre-market resistance, which is around the 30, 39. So let's see what happens there on IonQ today. A good sign could also be if QUBT is on the downside. Right now, it's kind of bouncing and doing a very similar move. We'll see what happens with some other names. There's also Rigetti, which is RGTI. But this one recently just made the spike. So this one's a little bit more recent than the other ones. So I'd be taking a look to see if the strength is in this one to show us some sign of some strength in quantum computing today. So you can see that on the hourly, how it's trying to approach the 7 breakout right now. All right, looking around out there, there goes AVPO there, guys. AVPO already getting the lift there back towards 14 now. So already a nice little lift off that 12, right? It should get into a halt really quickly here. So I think right there, it's going to halt right now at the 1394s. Let's see if it halts here. You see there's a bidder right now trying to get in on the 1391s, and right there halted. So he was getting filled in right there, and I could see it. It went from like 15 to 14s. So he grabbed like another 1,000 there. And so you see what happens there is that as soon as they start to see the stock looks like it halts, they start throwing a big size on the bid side, right? Because if the stock pulls back and just opens up the spread, they're still getting filled on that bid side and looking for the move back to the upside. So AVPO, nice little lift right out the gates here today. We'll see if this one can hold, but big breakout on AVPO today. 15-minute candle undercut that action to the left, which was a pretty nasty undercut on the 915, and now starting to come back. Be careful with this one. It's definitely a crazy, crazy mover. SPY coming right back down here as it went up, and right back down it goes. So let's take a look to see if we see some more downside action coming in the market today. Let's look at the sectors. What's doing well? Healthcare is bouncing. What's red? Energy, technology red, industrials red, basic materials red. So definitely some ugly action there as we see some more downside coming in. It's a pretty ugly day, at least to start here. We'll see what happens in Tesla if it starts to go red. I'm still looking at Tesla here. It's still holding in. It went to that 427. So I'm going to look at Tesla here. It's looking like it wants to drop below this 423. Man, it was up there to 427 already just on the pop. So looking to see if it's going to cut through this 423 and start working back to a pre-market low. There's the cut down, and it was fast. Did you see that dollar move there? That was a dollar move there as it cut to 423. It went to 422 in a heartbeat. So missing out on the Tesla short right now, that's definitely for sure. Should have just gone after it, but it's just hard. It's a hard name. It's $400. So definitely missing out on the Tesla short right now. We'll look to see if it bounces to VWAP, which is back towards 424.50s, but looks pretty weak there. Adobe kind of pushing up there. I do see Riot in some of these Clean Spark names kind of getting a little bit of a lift there. So Clean Spark is one I'm watching right now. All right, so there's a pre-market resistance. Let's see if the pre-market support can hold on this undercut. So if it can do a cut down below the 1325s and not cut the 1315s here, I might take a shot on Clean Spark. All right, taking a look out there to see some the big movers out there. It's definitely, of course, Pally, but I want to see what's moving in the last like kind of 15 minutes. All right, I see ABPO, of course, show up there. I see Sling. I see looking around to see what other names stand out to me. 3D Systems, DDD. That's a 3D printing stock that's making a move. Clean Spark back down to that 1317s here. Let's see if it can start to reverse off of this. Q's really weak, but could bounce back here. We'll see what happens. Q's getting a little bounce there. SPY getting a little bounce here. We'll see if it continues to wash. Tesla bounced back to the 9 and rejected that. So it was a good rejection there from Tesla as we're getting some further downside there. Let's see if CleanSpark can start working its way back. It did bounce off that 13.15, now starting to work its way back up here. I'm going to go for a shot here off the 13.15 essentially. All right, guys, just grabbed a little bit there of CleanSpark. Grabbed 500 shares at the 13.23s. 13.23s. Let's see if we can hold this low here. Getting a little attempt there towards the 13.15s. Want to hold off the 13.10s here. It's about to approach it. There he goes for the undercut there. Let's see if it comes right back up through it. There you go. Nice undercut. Now let's see if it just wicks here and then comes right back up. If not, definitely through that 13.05. Got to get out. Watching the Qs right now. Microsoft strong out the gates is Microsoft, guys. So if there's a stock that's strong, I definitely am seeing Microsoft really strong here. All right, back to 13.18s. I'm setting the stop there at 13.10s. Looking for the rip higher here in CleanSpark. Might go for the add here. Just got to be careful once I add. I need to be in the green and starting to see it pop towards the 13.30s. There's 13.30s. I'm going to take the shot here, guys. I just got to be careful when it pulls back here. All right, 13.30s. Now I want to see 13.30s get taken out and starting to go above that. 13.15s will get me out here. Taking a big shot here in CleanSpark. Let's see if it can start to get going in the right direction in the green here. There's a little spike there. Now looking for the Qs and the SPY to start working back. And it is. Now I can go ahead and hold like a 10-cent, a 1-cent risk here. I just need it to pop above the 13.30s, but it's not doing it just yet. Try not to show my hand right now because if I do put it out for a $10 risk, it's just going to hit me real quick here. All right, CleanSpark, you got the nice looking chart. Now just take the 13.40s and then we're going to be looking really good. Microsoft, good strong move there. So looking around, see what else is trading up. All right, Q's coming back. Let's see if it can take the high towards 527.80s there. That's the recovery there. Let's go, CleanSpark. Not doing it. Getting a little bit of that pullback. It's just back and forth right now. It's going to test me right here on this pullback here. Looking for that move right back up here, but it could cut down through that 13.15s now. There's the cut down. Let's see if it recovers here. The Qs are weak. That's what's happening here. Qs are pretty weak. They're heading down towards the low there. I'm getting hit hard here on CleanSpark. Got to go ahead and set the risk here. It's about to cut me out. All right, just set the stop there. It's going to be 250, so definitely putting up a good amount of what I already have in the green. Let's see if it can come right back up here. Just watching to see if the Qs can get back to the green. They're just trying to, but I think when I added, I will say that I added, I think, a little bit too early. We should have looked for a little bit further pop, which is trying to keep the average really close. There's a recovery back towards the 13.10s, but the Q's still not going back towards the green. That's one thing I'm noticing there. There's the Qs trying to get back to the green. Let's see if it can really start rocking and rolling now. Now I'm going to go ahead and set the stop here about 230. The stop is placed. I have to place it now because the truth is I don't want to risk it if it comes back through that low. Looking like we're going to get cut out here. All right, let's see if this can start making its way back here. 5-minute chart, not looking too bad if it can go back to green. This opened up at 13.17. So on the 5-minute, can we get back above that? Can this candle go back to green? That's what I'm looking at. All right, looking good if we can get back above the 13.17s here. Palantir bouncing back today. Pretty strong there, guys. So we're starting to see some names starting to work back here. I'm going to go through the market in a second here. I've just been stuck on this clean spark. What's going on out there, traders? What are we looking at? Throw it up in the chat. Just chomping around out there, guys. I'm going to go ahead and just start getting ready to get out here. Stop place here. Going to probably get hit for 210. Spot Q's starting to go down again, so don't want to push it there with the Q's. Tesla, though. Tesla, man. Oh, man, I missed that flush through the 423s, and it went to 418, guys. Oh, man, I'm being slow, guys. I hate being slow on the reactions. I was trying to short Tesla again today, and I completely botched it again. That's frustrating, guys. Frustrating. Tesla was the move. Got caught in the clean spark there. Oh, that's a frustrating one, guys. I really wanted that Tesla today, but wasn't able to get that. Clean spark cutting me out there. Oh, man. That one's frustrating, to say the least. Tesla. Should have just grabbed it in the pre-market. That's on me. All right, we'll see if Success can get right back up there. That's not a bad-looking trade, but, man, I'm telling you guys, I'm a little frustrated on that Tesla. Really wanted to nail that one. And there she goes. Tesla now down to 417. So $6 on that 423 cut. I mean, I've been going up like 50 to 100 shares. So that was a $600 trade I just missed out on. Frustrating, guys. We'll see what happens there. Clean spark actually coming right back. So might have got cut out there right on the 13. Could still come back through the 1330s. We'll see if it does come back. Q's and SPY coming back there, and so is Palantir and some other names. So let's see if we can start to see some strength come back into the market here. Q's is just chopping around a little bit. Apple overall down in the red. Microsoft is the only like big boy that I'm seeing like really green here. So just be careful. We could start seeing some more cut down. Q's look weak, but at any moment they could rally back. They're starting to cut down here. Let's see if it goes to the 527. Meta's been strong, but it could start to pull back. Google trying to go green. That could start to push some things. All right, going to try to stick with this clean spark. Maybe come right back after it. Gave up about 215 of my green earlier. Let's see if we can start getting this to come back here. Needed to go into the green towards the 1330s. The Mara right now at the 2370s. We'll see what happens with these names. Let's look around there. AVPO definitely came right back down. AVPO, right? APVO. Sorry about that. It's back down to 1235s. Is it on a down halt now? Yeah, it seems like it's on a down halt. Yeah, down halt indeed. Microsoft holding well there. Disney trying to break down through that 114. Oh my God, this thing has just been wanting to break. At some point, I feel like it breaks that 114, especially if we can go red on the Qs today. It's not a bad look there on Disney. Let's see if I can nail Disney at least. Got to chase it here a little bit. I hate chasing. But I think it finally cracks that 14 today. So that's about 30, 40 cents down here. I'd like it back towards 114.70s, but we'll see what happens on that. Q's still wicks on the bottom there. Wicks. Could start coming right back up, but definitely a lot of wicks there. TSM in the green there. We'll see if that comes right back down. A lot of red action out there, guys. A lot of red action. From the open, there's only financials and real estate in the green. Looking for what's up? The banks, the big boys. Technology starting to come back up. We'll look to see what names are in there. They're doing well. We talked about Microsoft and Google already. Some of these small names doing well. HIMX. That one, pretty good move there on HIMX. I mean, that's a 675 to 820s. That's a 20% move there. JetBlue holding in right now. I think the Qs are looking like they want to break, though. There's some breakdown coming in right now. Oh, man, that Tesla. That's a frustrating one there. We'll see what happens there. How's ION Q there? Back towards the 30, 39. Could still go up there. Q's looking like they want to break, but will they break? That's another thing, right? VIX starting to shoot up there. That's a good sign, at least for the breakdown to actually happen. Let's see if it actually does happen. If I look at the hourly, there's a lot of resistance in this right above here. So if it gets to like that actual 43s, I mean, that's where really you start to see the spike. Q is still holding in there. Still watching Clean Spark as it could start making its way back up here. It's had 1, 2, 3. This is that fourth kind of bottoming. So now I can start to look at it to see if the Qs can go green. Can the Qs go green? That's what I'm looking at here. So one more attempt back down on Clean Spark towards, like, let's say 1290s and then back up through the 13s. It's a really good look. So we'll see if the Qs can hold on, though. Buy and Qs still look pretty weak there. All right, looking around out there, guys. Do you guys see anything? Let me know in the chat. I'm looking around here. AMPG is a small one that's getting a little bit of a lift there. AMPG. Clean Spark came back there for a second there. Let's see if it can make one more down move and then a recovery. That's what I'm looking at least for Clean Spark. Disney right back. Starting to come back towards the 114.60s. Catching up in the chat. What's up out there, guys? How we doing? CROS, beauty of a short. Hey, get that money, man. It's good to see you guys out there. Just started trading with you. I saw on Trader Evolution website that TradingView can be connected to Trade the Pool. Any plans? Honestly, Dan, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you could do that. I would love to be able to set that up. So I'll take a look into it, Dan. That's a really good question. I mean, you see me using multiple platforms here, right? I'm using TC, but still using the execution through Trade the Pool. So could you use just TradingView here and use execution through Trade the Pool? Yeah, you could do that also. I understand if you guys want it all in one platform, but just mentioning it, Dan. I wish you the best of luck, man. It's good to see you in the chat. Will NVIDIA go green? That is a big question today. All right, clean spark now back above that. It did do that little down move towards the 13s and then rejected that. All right, starting to come back. There is the Qs. Now, will they actually come back, or is it just a fake out to the upside? Disney still weak, so I want to buy clean spark here, but it's difficult. I'll be honest. Mara starting to curl also, so let's see if we start to get that spike there. Now 13.19s here. Q's coming back at least, so that's actually good outlook there. But the Q's still fighting it, guys. So the Q's still look like they're about to break down. They did put in a nice big green bar. Let's see what happens off of this bar. So watching Clean Spark, watching the Q's, watching Riot. Riot's starting to work its way back. This one actually looks a little cleaner there on the pattern at least. So Riot looking a little bit better here. $13.20s. Still, I'm not seeing the Qs actually come back there. Disney going to the low there. I'm about to just short Disney for a bigger short. Now, let's see what I can get at Disney here. All right, guys, just getting a message here. Sorry about that. Let me focus in on the trade. Lovely messages right at the wrong time. Disney, it looks like it's breaking here. 114.30s here. I'm just looking to see if the Qs can get weak and the SPY can get weak here. There goes the SPY. I'm going to take the shot here in Disney. It's a hard trade, that's for sure. But just calling it out there, guys. All right, starting to see the SPY break there. Now looking for the Qs to break down, and I'm about to add on to Disney. All right, adding to Disney, looking for the cut down here. All right, guys, sorry, got the dogs going crazy. I'll be right back, guys. Give me a second, guys. All right, team, I'm back, guys. Sorry about that. Seems like the pest control guy is here, so you know how that goes. All right, Disney starting to go down there now, looking better here as Disney starts to head to the 114s, guys. I'm short 600 shares of Disney, using all the buying power I can on this short. So let's see what happens. Let's see if we can start to get a little bit of some cash back in Disney. So a big part of this is now to hold kind of the break-even spot here as we start to go deeper and deeper into the green. Don't want this coming back against me. So at this point, just looking for the breakdown through the low. Can give it a little room. So I'm going to give it probably that little room. I'm looking for the offer not to hit like 114.35 here. It's really going to be more on the SPY here also too. If you see the SPY broke through the low. The Qs didn't though. The Qs bounced. So I'm watching to see if the Qs can continue and the SPY can continue. That'd be a good outlook to see the further downside in Disney. How's Netflix doing? It's starting to bounce a little bit, so I'm just keeping a watch on it. Disney starting to break there. Now I want to see the 9 EMA kind of keep holding below it. So you see this bounce here that rejected it. Don't want it to be back above that 114.40s. All right, got to hold it tight here to see what happens here in the SPY and the Qs. If they just start coming back, I can start taking a look at the other stocks there. CleanSpark made it back to 1330s and then pulled all the way right back down. So it's just back and forth out there. Just got to be careful out here. The Qs and the SPY kind of chopping, and essentially from 9 a.m., it's gone nowhere. Nowhere the market's gone. So just be careful out there. A lot of times, what are they trying to do? They're trying to stop us out and try to make us trade a lot in between this chop. So just be careful with that kind of action. SPY still looking weak here. Let's see how the VIX is looking. Yeah, VIX just took a downturn. That's not what I wanted to see there. Qs could probably pop off of that. SPY kind of putting in that little bottoming there. Disney, will you just keep going here today? There's the Qs on the down. Come on. Let's break it. I'm still mad about Tesla, but oh well. Just leaving Tesla alone now. Q's still holding in well here. Just doesn't want to give the breakdown here. That's never a good sign. A lot of the times, if it doesn't want to give it to me, a lot of times it's going to turn on me here. So let's just keep it tight. Nice rejection of the 9 EMA again. I want to see this stay below the 35s here if possible. There's the Qs and the SPY coming back on me. So just got to be careful here. SPY and Q coming back on me. Coming back on me right now, guys. You got to be careful here. I'm definitely getting a little bit of a spike back here. The problem is also the spread starts to hit, and so it's very hard to get out on a spread like this. See if I can get this 45 rejection. If not, I'm going to have to get out. Market's coming back, guys. Market's coming back. But still not through the highs. It's just kind of chopping right now. Just watching the action right now. It's kind of back and forth. I mean, the market's not going anywhere. So I'm trying to stay in this, use my cash that I have in the green. Because the Qs are not going anywhere. Essentially not going anywhere from this morning. We're just in a rectangle triangle. A rectangle just sideways here. So we'll see what happens there, guys. What's up out there, guys? Yeah. 10 a.m. common reversal time. Yeah, 9:45, 10 a.m. is a common one. It's either 9:45 or 10. That's when I usually look for the reversals. Let's see if we get a reversal back to the upside. If not, a cut down through the 528, cut down through the 527. SPY holding well there. Now could kind of recover. Microsoft is up on the upside, guys. Microsoft is telling me that we might come right back up to the upside. We'll see if Apple gets back through the 246. NVIDIA itself is down towards 137. Could go lower now. Let's see if NVIDIA starts to get the hit now. NVDL, I made some really good money shorting this earlier in the week. Let's see what happens now. All right, looks like it's about to break. Just broke there, the 69.80s there. Let's see if NVIDIA really breaks down here. Looking like a breakdown there in NVIDIA. TSM also coming down here. Now we'll look for Disney really to get flushed. Palantir coming back, guys. So if the Qs come back into the green and they go right back above, let's say the 528, Palantir could be one name to watch for the upside move. NVIDIA still doing well there. We'll see what happens if that one keeps breaking down. 69.70s was kind of the look there. Now the SPY and the Qs right back down. So just trying to hold in on the Disney right now, but it could start to break at least. The SPY and Qs going down to the bottom side. That's a good look there. Let's see if the VIX actually takes off here. All right, guys, going to look to see if I can buy some of this VIX and take a shot here. The chop and the Qs, man. Clean spark right back down here, so I'm watching that. Because if the market wants to come back up like the Qs, I'm going to be looking to see what happens in clean spark right back to the upside. Disney right back down on the lows here, now starting to cut back down here. So at least I know that my risk is going to be about 120. Let's see if I can make like 300 on the positive on Disney. Down to like 113.80s, down to like 113.40s is what I'm looking at. SPY and Q starting to come back here, so got to just keep my eye on it because it's back and forth right now. AMPG is a small name getting the lift right now. AMPG through 3. Alert on that one, guys. Up 1, down 1, up 2, down 2, up 3, down 3, up 4, breakout level. Now I'd look for it to hold the pullback. Let's see if it can hold the pullback towards the 284s and takes the 3. Let's see it. Let's see it. On the 1 minute, can it do an attempt back here towards the 90 MA and then take off through 3? Something to look at. Clean spark now starting to look like it wants to come back there. The Q's looking like they want to come back there. So that's the thing here. So now it's time to take a little shot here again on clean spark. Only problem is what will happen. So I'm waiting to see it above the VWAP. So I want to see it above VWAP before I start taking a shot on it, because it could easily just reject. Same thing for the Qs. You see there's no close above this kind of VWAP, and you can see it on the 5 minute. Every time we get up here, we're rejecting right now. What happens now? We just got this recent wick there to the downside at the 526.80s. Will we make a move right back down there? So you see how we're just going sideways right now. A lot of times what I would say to newer traders, sometimes it's best just not to trade during this time. It's all about how you approach it. But so essentially we're stuck in a range. And when we're stuck in a range, a lot of times you might need to trade within the range, right? Justin wants to talk about coin. Let's go take a look at coin. Coin doing well. I talked about how the platforms could probably do better than the miners. So coin was one of the names, thinking, could we come back to this 340s? It's looking good on the pop, right? I like that 15-minute hold. It's looking good. That makes me excited about Clean Spark, though. It does. Just more along, will the Qs actually go into the green today? Because the SPY and the Qs are pretty weak. I mean, but the Qs could always reverse back and go green. Disney still holding on there, so it's just not doing the breakdown. And the market is not breaking down either. The SPY is weaker than the Qs. That's one thing for sure. There's one more cut down here. Let's see what happens. Now I at least have a nice little risk to return here in the VIX. I'm just waiting to see one kind of breakdown or breakout. Nothing's happening in the Qs. All right, let's see what happens here. Still choppy in the Qs, guys. Choppy chop. TRNR now showing up on the scanner there. And this was moving earlier in the day. So let's see if it starts to actually get the lift here. This one seemed to me like it was not going to be able to continue. That's why I didn't trade it, but we'll see what happens. Q's holding in right there. Let's see how Tesla's doing now. Where is Tesla? Back at 426, 427. That tells me watch out for the Q's. Can the Qs let go so I can go shorting on some names? Or would the Qs go up so I can go longing on some names? That's what I'm trying to do here, guys. Watching 4 stocks. I could have made millions if I only traded my strategy. Shake my head. Hey, future, go trade your strategy, my friend. Tell yourself it. Tell yourself it right before 9:30. Put a post-it that literally says, like, every morning, grab that Post-it and put it in the middle of your screen and put on there, trade your strategy only. And then every single day, you put it on your screen, right? When the market hits, go and pull it off the screen. Watch how this works. It's called the recency bias, right? What you think in the most recent could help you. So if you're really thinking about how I'm going to handle execution right before the market opens, you might be able to actually pull that into your trading. There's the cut down, right back down in Tesla. Do I even have 40 shares to go shorting Tesla? No, I don't. I might need to cut some of Disney, but it is what it is, man. I'm just going to keep it in Disney. Does look nice there, but I'll leave that alone. Q's just cut there, though. Now we look to see if the VIX takes off here. All right, taking 200 of the VIX here because that I do have the money for. So let's see if I can get this going here. I don't mind adding on this, but if the Qs can not come back through kind of like 527.20s. So I'm going to put a line there for me to really know that, hey, it can't come back through that. If it's through that, I got to be careful for the turnaround. But let's see if the VIX can really take off here. Qs and SPY both broke at the same time. So if you guys don't know, for you traders that don't know, of course, the VIX is going to go against the market. So the VIX will go up when the market comes down. What is this? This is trading kind of uncertainty. Yeah, but little tips and tricks like that, future. Find ways to almost trick your mind in thinking the right way, right? One of the very simple ways is if you're looking at the chart, your mind starts going off on different things, different tangents in your mind of possibilities and things like this. But if we can get around that and kind of hone in ourselves, that's very important. RGTI, I've talked about Rigetti, how it was looking for a 7 pop. It got the 7 pop. It's there to 778 now. This is a hot stock here, RGTI. SMST short MSTR getting a little bit of a spike there. Not what you wanted to see, but we'll see what happens on that. And wouldn't you know it, SPY and Q still not continuing the breakdown. They did do a small little cut down there, but it's not continuing. Let's see if it continues now. Now we're seeing a little bit further in there. There we go. That's another little leak there. Looking a little bit better now. All right, nice little spike now coming down there. So definitely seeing the weakness come in. Even CleanSpark washing out to the 1283s. Palantir starting to come down there. So definitely seeing the downside come in now. Let's see if we can really get this to kind of really break at least. Give us a little bit of some downside here. I'll look for a nice little 200 winner or 150 winner on that VXX trade. That's kind of the insight here. We'll see what happens. Can it get back above this towards the 43s? The next layer there could go all the way up to the 44s today. So I'll give it a chance, right? Let's see if it gets to the 43s first, and then I'll take a look there to see if I just take the cash. Disney's still in the red here, and I think this is an interesting one because the truth is that it should have cut down already. It's just hanging off of the top end of the resistance, and that's not good news for me. With the market coming down the way it is, I felt that I should have already been in the green here. So I'm getting to the point where I just need to establish the risk because it's still coming against me here. It's trying to stop me out and then maybe making the move on the downside here. But the only problem is I'm stuck on the bottom end of this, which is not where I normally short, right? Normally I'm shorting where? At resistance. This is where it's just a battle of which way do you want to trade, right? Some traders like to short off the support. Some traders like to long on resistance. So in this case here, I went off the breakdown one, but not holding well right now. It needs to reject this kind of 114.70. If not, it's back towards 115 and getting me a bigger stop out here. So definitely don't want to let it get back there through that 114.70s. It starts to break out, look there. But it's crazy because the SPY and Q is making that hard down move. Essentially, the correlation should have already helped me enough to get into the green, and it's just not happening. When something's not happening, it's telling me something, and I got to start respecting it. So Q's now starting to work their way back from that breakdown. So could easily start to work its way back. I mean, it's just a back and forth action. A lot of chop out the gates here today, but still pretty red. All right, at this point, I got to set the risk here, guys. So I'm going to show my hand here, and I think I'll get attacked on Disney here towards the 114.66, which will put me in the red. So really frustrated about that because had a really good day to start off today. A really nice cushion to start it off, but just not finding my luck right now, guys. Not finding the consistency right now. SPY and Q still holding on there, man. And that's the hard part there. We're still seeing a little leak there, but it's not a big move down. All right, set to stop there in the VIX for 50 bucks. We'll see what happens there. Disney kind of moving all around here, guys. Now it's like back and forth. Now it rejects a little bit here. So just rejected the VWAP. Another hard action, so I'm canceling the stop for the time being. I just need to start seeing it come down here on the SPY and the Qs. Qs down to the 526.22s. Tesla went all the way back up there, all the way back down, man. I'm just in the wrong stocks today, guys. I'm just like, so like I wanted Tesla earlier. Then I went after Disney because it's been one of the plays that I've been watching all week. Then I see Tesla back at 426. I even hit the short button, just didn't have enough buying power there to short it too. At like 425 is when I was hitting it. It's down to 420s, 5 points from there. So that was a nice $250 winner. I was trying to get 50 shares, nothing crazy. But man, just in the wrong names today. And that happens sometimes, guys. I'm just not finding like I talked about it in before the open. Sometimes you're seeing it right and you're like kind of honed in. Right now, I'm just not. Jorge saying on the small cap world, the setups are just not there today. And that happens a lot of times when there's a little bit of some kind of turnaround in the market. Those traders get a little scared. I'd watch the IWM to see when that gets hot again. That could be a good sign when the penny stocks come back. When the IWM is performing well, small caps perform well. When the IWM is performing bad, I'd be a little bit careful with some of the penny names. Just a little, at least insight from what I've seen in my history. Will Micron go back to that 100? It looks like it, guys. It looks like it. I mean, it definitely is testing right off of that. All right, just got cut out there in the VIX, and that's just how it goes, guys. Back down to 42.40s here. Could go right back to the 42.60s, but I'm going to get cut out here, guys, and try to just hold on to the Disney trade, and it ain't looking good here, guys. Now we're getting the Qs to come ramping back here. And that's just how it goes sometimes, guys. If the market doesn't break down, it's a good sign that, hey, we're coming right back. Now we get this big wick here, and it could be right back towards 527.50s. All right, guys, getting more of a spike there in Disney, about to take out. Q's coming back fast there, guys, fast. I set a stop there. It's going to hit me about 210 here, guys. So definitely didn't want to take this hit. But hey, the truth is you got to set the risk at some point. Disney never even went there deep into the green. It was in the green for a second there when we were down to 114s, 16, but not deep into the green. It was only up about like $100 there. So just the wrong name at the wrong time, and definitely need to be careful with the spread with a name like Disney. Q's right back up there to 527s. So just a crazy wick there, ugly wick there, and definitely catching some traders. I'm sure they caught some traders on the downside there. All right, we'll see if some other names start to make the move here. All right, guys, just give me a second here. I know that the boys are being a little loud. I'll be right back. Just 2 seconds here, guys. All right, let's see what's going on out there, guys. Q's just chopping around, not going anywhere, essentially, guys. So that's what I'm focusing on here. Tesla is right at the 423s. I'm still looking at it here to see if we can maybe just get after this one. But it's going to be hard, right? It is trying to come back here towards the 425.60. So just keep that in mind. We'll see what happens here with the Qs. Can they make an up move? Clean Spark coming back, and that's my name that I want to go after also. So I'm just keeping an eye on it. Man, the Qs, dude. It's hard. I'll be honest. When the market's doing this, and it's just like kind of hanging in there. Look at the 15-minute. We haven't gone anywhere, team. This is why on days like today, what I would rather do is just not trade, is just stay on the sideline because the markets are not moving. They're just kind of chopping in between the range. And all it's doing is causing a lot of trading, and not really holding on to a trend. It's not holding on to the trend on the downside. It's not holding on the trend to the upside. Clean start back there towards 1310s now. So just taking a look at that one. It is getting the spike, guys. Q's now pushing up here, guys. Let's see if this is a fake out. You got to be careful, but it could be a fake out to the upside, but I'll take a shot here on Clean Spark. Hourly still looks good on that 1310. Mara, Hut, those types of names. I'm looking at it. Hut went up in pre-market pretty well there. So nice little 15-minute recovery here on the 29. Spy up there, but will it hold or will the spy just reject here? Got the Qs. The VIX went right back down there. Clean Spark up there to 1312s. We'll look to see if it gets a move above this, but it is slowly just stair-stepping higher. It's a tough day, man. Q's now starting to climb back here. Let's take a look into the market, seeing what other names are making a move. Maybe some smaller ones start to get the lift here. APVO. Oh, man. This thing's moving all over the place. $15-minute chart has it sitting around $11 here. AVPO. We'll see what happens on that one. Clean Spark just missing it, man. Could have been able to buy that 13 recovery here. It's already the 1325s, almost 1330s. So just struggling today, man. Not my execution's off, I can tell. On a day where I was just trading by myself, I'd probably call it quits on this already. I'd just be like, all right, man, I'm just not seeing it, right? Rigetti trying to get a little bit of a lift there. Xena giving us a little bit of an alert. That's a little bit of a break right back to the upside here. We'll see if that one can actually break out. It's on a 15-minute recovery. Taking a look at Tesla here. Man, just chopping all around is Tesla too. So lots of choppy action today. Got to be careful on those days. QUBT trying to get back there to 7. So you're getting a little bit of that quantum move today, a little bit. Ion Q back to 32. Like to see this cut back down through the 3180s here on Ion Q. That's a market's actually going to break down, and so Ion Q could be a move back down. Can getting a little bit of a lift there. CIFR, Cipher Mining. How's Coin doing? It did do a nasty pullback, and now starting to work back. BTBT. Qs overall, what's leading in the Qs? You got Warner Brothers doing pretty well up there to $12 there. So Intel doing well today. Pan W up above the 400. Microsoft still holding in that move. Looking around to see what other names are up that stand out to me. Apple back into the green. We've talked about how it came out with those AI features. All right, out there, guys. Not much that I'm seeing. It's 10:28. We'll be getting out of here at 11, but definitely smash the like out there, guys. One word for the market today. Meh. Yeah, Tony, I'm with you, man. Ugly day there. Disney costing me, though, man. Put too much into Disney there. Market pulling back now. Back and forth action there, guys. QURE going red today. This one might actually break down a little bit further today. Not a bad looking stock there on QURE. Nice rejection on that 15. See if QURE goes lower today. Not a bad looking stock for it to keep breaking down. See what happens on that. Scanner's not showing me nothing there. LAES, not much. 3D Systems getting a little bit of a lift. It's looking a little better. Look at the drive on that. Nice 9 EMA momentum name. Mara right around VWAP. CleanSpark right around VWAP also. But the Qs went back up and then they just start slowing down. At this point, I would expect them to just kind of take off because you're definitely catching some bears. But I think it's trying to catch some bulls at the same time. This is one of those days where the market, I feel like, is just trying to hurt both sides of the trade. It did very similar yesterday and then eventually started to rip to the upside. I'm wondering today if it does the opposite, but I'll just be looking at the price action to let it tell me. Intel's been a strong name there. Financials were in the green out the gates. They're not green anymore. Defensive real estate is kind of leading the action to the upside right now. Wheeler, the Wheeler stock, guys. You guys know I've traded this one before. It's such a PS name, man. I couldn't imagine working for Wheeler Real Estate, but hey, to each his own, man. We'll see what happens with this one. Comes out of the hole around the 580s, goes back to 6, pulled back there to the 578s there. Will it go back to 680s on the upside? I mean, this thing is a crazy monster and loves to do a couple of day moves. So Wheeler getting hot this morning. Has 4.3 million shares traded. So let's see if it can keep riding up. It's nothing that I really like, but shows up on the scanners often. TRVI. Yeah, TRVI starting to make the move. This one actually looks a little bit better. I might take a look at this one. I like the pullbacks underneath the VWAP. a couple of stops to the 375s, and now you're trying to get back through the 4, right? And so you just popped off that 4. So I'd look for a little pullback to like 405, 410s to see if those can hold, and then really start to get the volume. Volume is what this one's going to need, but it just got a nice little pop of volume around the $4 price spot. All right, we'll see if this one gets going towards the 430s, 450s. On the MACD on the 5, it's starting to look a little bit better there. We'll see what happens on TRVI. Here's another one, too, in the quantum space, QUBTS. So definitely seeing these quantum names start to make the move to the upside. So that's something to think about with like a QUBT, right? That's making that little bit of a lift, or an RGTI, like a Rigetti. That one's continuing on the upside. We'll see how these continue to push. SoundHound AI getting a little bit of a push there towards 14 from 13. So this is actually staying hot there on AI names. AI overall, how's that doing today? Ooh, nice little lift off of C3 AI. It went up to 39.75. So let's see if it can pull back and give us an opportunity on that pullback. Wouldn't mind it. AI, the nice spike. Man, the Qs are just trappy. Did go and do that Tesla move to the upside there. So I'm looking for one more attempt to break this 426. If it doesn't break that 426, I'm ready to short Tesla, but it's all dependent also on the market. The market loves to go up here, and it still hasn't broken the kind of like the support or yesterday's resistance. So it's still pretty weak. It's just kind of just chopping around. 15-minute went back to the next resistance around the 528. Could start rejecting the 528, coming back towards 527. So the Qs will be in more of a chop and range, and we'll see if it actually breaks the range on any side, really. Clean spark right back down to the 1290s. It's just chop action, guys. You got to be careful on a trade like that. KROS, a name that was crazy short. I heard in the chat there, and boy, oh boy, crazy short. $70 to $16. I mean, absolute bonicles idea on this. I don't know what the hell happened to see KROS, but I'll tell you one thing: they don't like it with a 10-foot pole. TRVI tried to come back up there, went to the 425s, back down to the 4. Needs a lot of volume to get it off of that. AMPG trying to climb back. This one's not looking too bad. We'll see if it starts to go back here towards the 3. What I like is 1 drive, 2 drives, 3 drives, 4th, but held the 9 EMA here. Now let's see if it can start to drive and get back towards 3. Can AMPG get the buyers to step up, especially around the 280s? Could push it through towards the 3. So just taking a look at some of these smaller names here. We'll see what else is out there. 1035, and the market overall just kind of chopping around still, man. Disney, I'm glad I got out because it's at 114.80s, but it still could come crashing down. It's just choppy action. A lot that's I'm seeing out there. Tesla now starting to cut down here, rejected going back toward that 426. So we could see some weakness here come in. I'm looking for one more attempted run there in the Qs for Tesla to come up one more time, but it has rejected this 427 area plenty of times. It rejected it in the pre-market. It rejected it right out the gates. It just prior rejection. And this is kind of like the 4th rejection. So we could break down through this 424 for a good amount of time. So I'm going to probably maybe take a shot off of 50 shares here if it does, and then I would only hold to a $50 risk. But I would like to see one more drive and fail towards that Bollinger Band. Market's trying to do that drive, so I'm being patient here. Got to be patient. All right, that looks like a nice little bounce there. Let's see what happens. Can we get some red to actually come into the market here? Looking around out there, guys, XPEV, the China stocks showing up for me. I've been keeping an eye on this. It hasn't gone anywhere. It's been kind of staying steady. So I think that we got to look to see if we get some more news. We did get a little bit of a pop. Not much has been mentioned from me in China. I looked around and there wasn't too much this morning mentioned. So we'll see what happens out there, guys. AVGR getting a little spike, but that's a 50-cent stock there. We'll see if the Qs just rip out here. The Qs could just rip out here, and then I'd be looking at more like clean spark to the upside. But I'm watching Tesla right here to see if it fails one more time. Trying to be patient with it, trying to be patient, guys. That's what helps a lot of the times is being patient when you're trying to take a trade like this. And the big part of this is a trend line approach, right? So just trying to be patient on kind of moves back up and then waiting for the actual complete breakdown is going to be very vital. Into that area, and rejection is essentially what I'm looking for. It could go to 427. That's why I'm not short right now. If I go to 427, I'm just going to get stopped out. All right, what's up out there, guys? How we doing? We're all feeling the pain there, man. Yeah, freaking Disney. You should have put 300 on MU at 100 long instead of Disney. 1,000%. One of the things that I've been thinking about more and more futures is trying to do more of pairs trading, right? Of course, you guys know what pairs trading is. If you don't know what pairs trading is, I would look into that. I've done a couple of pairs trade on here where I've had myself get some profit back into other direction, right? And so I think that's the important thing, right? We're all feeling the pain, laugh out loud. Future saying he was up 700, now down 200. It's important, right? And knowing when to call it a day is also important. I had a really nice cushion from the penny stock this morning that I did use. But hey, that's why I'm only down 173. If not, it'd be pretty down, man. So let's see if we can catch one more trade here. And look how Disney went to that 115 and rejected it. Disney, man. The house of mouses. I'm about to go put some mouses in Disney, but we'll see what else is out there. You made the call on MU. Yeah, I know. MU was a perfect one, man, but it's just how it is sometimes, man. We'll see what happens on that one. Did pull back there as it comes right back down towards the low, and it could hold that 100 and start to come back later in the day. It's going to be more dependent on these Qs, and the Qs are just holding on. But the downside action wasn't that strong. It was a little move down. Wasn't really big. BFRI. I'm still looking at the scanners there to see if anything comes up that's actually making the breakout. Xena is one that's actually going for the 7. 7 is a potential breakout on this one. It does have a lot of volume kind of loading into this thing right now. So I'd kind of keep an eye on it. Xena, not looking too bad there, but it also could be a short off of 7 here. So it's one of those trades where it's like 50-50. Let's be honest. 50-50 on the Xena trade. If I take a look at the 1, you can see how it crossed back to the upside and then came back and reloaded right around this space. This is really where I see the bulls getting in. So I'd be careful to see what happens in this space. Q's trying to break the high there. So Tesla is going to probably attempt to do the same here. We'll see what happens. And just like that, we turned around there. So I'm going to probably start the starter in Tesla here. Just got to be careful, though. Still holding well, not jumping on there. It literally had the hand click there. I'm just looking to see if it can go red on the 5-minute. Opened at 427.70. So looking at that 426, 425.70 actually. Q's still holding well. Clean spark trying to come back. So Tesla could keep ripping, guys. It did go red, but now it's starting to come right back. So letting the market tell me what to do, because clean spark is also the option here on upside outlook, right? So just keeping that in mind, right? We don't know which way the stocks are going to go. And I think we got to always stay a little flexible, Tesla, big rejection there on Tesla. That's good levels now. All right, just got a starter on there in Tesla, short 50 shares though. Nothing too crazy, just trying to stay within the range here. Looking to see if the Qs can break the 5-minute low, which is through like kind of that 527.60. That will show me more and more to take the shot. Let's see what happens here. Right back into the green candle. So just got to be careful there. You're seeing back and forth, man. There's definitely opportunities, but the Qs haven't really gone anywhere. Clean Spark still recovering that 13, so I'm keeping an eye on it. SPY did pull back here. We'll see if it breaks the 5-minute low. That's what I'm looking at right now on the Qs. And the 15-minute has kind of like a harmy candle right now. So it just goes to show you that there is some indecision here, and you got to look to see where this body closes in the next 15 minutes. Nice rejection there. Let's see if we can really start to get some breakdown now as we start to reject the 9 EMA. There's a breakdown towards the 425s here. In a second, I'm going to go for the ad in Tesla. Trying to get it back there towards 425 first before I go for the ad. Five-minute candle still hasn't broken that 527.60, so could hold on here and go right back up. All right, let's see if we can start to get a little bit more cut down here. There's a very similar area where it got cut down before. It could go above the 427s and then make the cut down, so just got to be careful with that. There was a quick spike and drop. Let's see what happens. Q's coming right back. Let's see if the Q's can finally go and then break that 527.60 area. It's starting to come back to 528, so just be careful. Tesla coming back towards that 427. Looking around to see what else is moving here. Any other small name moving here? CDIO. How'd that Xena do off the 7? Still hasn't broken the 7. Just broke 7 again here. It's trying its best. It's gotten some volume, though. I think that's one thing that I'm starting to see in Xena. At least it's starting to really kind of pile in some volume. All right, Tesla's starting to make a little bit of a drop there. Now I'm going to go for it here, guys. Adding there, I just added there. Now 425.24 is let's see if we can really start making some move here. Really quickly right back up. So just got to be careful here. It just looked really good on the breakdown on that first break. So let's see if we can get this continuation now on Tesla going really quickly like it did last time. When it went down, it was going down like $2 or $3. So let's see if we can get that to go down $2 or $3 here and really make some cash. Taking my shot, guys. It cost me yesterday, but I'll take my shot again here. Like always, traders, the only thing you can do is set yourself up. BDTR, look at this one, guys. BDTR just taking off there. This has been one of the best, like, kind of Bitcoin miners trade, right? I mean, this BitDeer, it's an absolute monster right now. All right, Tesla, let's start the real break. Let's go. Let's go down to that 424. That's going to be the first action that I'm looking for. And the Q's still holding well. Q's still holding here. Oh man, the market's just been one of those markets where it's tough, man. It's tough because it's just going back and forth, and it's just a lot of like little chop, little chop, little chop. We start to get a move, little chop, little chop, little chop. You see, like when every time you're going towards the resistance or support, the candles are getting smaller. That's a good sign to look at. All right, what's up out there, traders? How we doing? It's been a tough day for sure, guys. Gonna keep battling, but man, hasn't been easy today. I can tell you guys that. Here comes a little lift in Tesla. That's gonna probably push it back here towards the 427. I'm trying to hang in there, but not easy in that Tesla. I'll tell you that much. We'll see if the Qs actually do come down right back down here. The SPY coming back down. We'll look to see if we actually get a little bit of a cut down there. Disney, though, man, that was a tough one. And it is starting to come back down, but we'll see what happens on that one. Will NVIDIA drive back here and get the market going? Apple still holding in well. Google recovering the 195.80s. You can take a look there at Microsoft as one of the strong names that's pushing to the upside. Meta recovering and still holding well. Amazon still holding well. So this means that, yeah, the market can still go up, right? These strong names are still driving the market. So market's coming right back up here. We'll see if Tesla goes into the green here for me. And if it does go into the green here, even like a good little bit here, I can go ahead and start setting a stop here. I need to still go ahead and just risk a little bit here and see if I get the breakdown, because the way that the Qs are looking, it's looking like we're about to get a breakout instead. All right, getting this breakout attempt in Tesla here, guys. I'm willing to get out and get back in, but we'll see what happens. That's 4, 16, 25, 15s here. About to get hit here. There you go. Got hit there. Now back to 426. Looking like it wants to get towards the 427s. It's just back and forth, guys. This is one of those days where I can tell you guys, it's just flushing until just trying to make you trade until it finally makes a move, and then you're caught. So we'll see what happens, guys. Back and forth action. It's one of those days that I'll be honest, guys. This is one of those days where I would have ended probably at like 9:55. I would have been done with the day. But hey, it's how it is as a trader. One of the things is I stick around here with you guys. LDTC trying to break $2 here. We'll see if this actually gets a break. Looks interesting there. Definitely not going to be a name that I'll jump in right now, but it was setting up there. BDTR taking off there, 23.85. So let's see if CleanSpark can finally take off here and get some money back. I mean, the market needs to come back up, but market's approaching the highs there. Let's see if CleanSpark can make a move here. And just like that, Tesla's right back down. That's how it goes, man. Right now, it's just one of those days where you got to go small and let the trade work and maybe give yourself a big range. The chop continues, man. The chop continues. All right, guys, it's 10:51. I'd probably just call it here, man. It's just going to make me take another trade. It's just back and forth on the Qs. So I'm probably going to just call it quits, man. If not, I'll end up taking some more trades. Already down 267 when I started the day, up 315, I believe. me just go back. 322. Started the day up. So we'll see what happens with that one. With the discount there, it was about 315. So I can see why I was calculating that. Definitely the big hit today on Disney. So Disney costing me big, guys. That was about 215 on the downside there. On CleanSpark, 215. And then Disney, 213. So definitely risked too much on that first CleanSpark trade. Should have been closer down towards 100, maybe 120. And then the same thing for Disney. Just risking too much on those trades put me in the red today. So that Tesla loss, I don't really struggle too much on that one. It's more in the range that it should be. The ones that were the trades that were done bad, the CleanSpark trade, and then the Disney trade. We'll see what happens if the Qs break the high here, and CleanSpark coming back through 13 is the last trade I could take, really. But it's more based on the market itself, and the market today just chopped me the hell up. So, hey, that's how it is sometimes, guys. All right, what's up out there, guys? The reason I dislike trading large cap companies is that they often heavily shorted, resulting in poor price action and frustrating trading experiences, says Jeff. Hey, it happens, Jeff. You know, you just got to find what works for you, right? Sometimes it's large caps, sometimes it's small caps, sometimes it's mid caps. And then maybe being able to trade multiple type of caps and having different strategies with them can maybe help you. I wish you guys the best of luck. Have a good rest of your trading day, guys. I'm going to go ahead and hop out of here before I start getting more Tesla hungry. We'll see what happens out there, guys. It's been a tough week. I'll be honest, guys. I had a really good Monday, and then it's been ugly Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I won't be back tomorrow, guys. I will be working on some education for you guys. It's not like I'm not working tomorrow. I'm just building on some education courses. And we'll keep building on that. So look forward to seeing more and more from Trade the Pool, especially from myself. And I'm trying to build an expansive course, right? Something that can really teach you guys all the different aspects of trading. Smash the like. We'll be back, of course, on Monday. So definitely smash the like. And next week's my birthday week. So maybe we can bounce back. So we'll see what happens, guys. It was a tough week for sure. Stay safe out there, traders. I wish you guys the best of luck today. And like always, there's not one way to trade. Find the way to success. And sometimes that's going to be a little bit of an up and down battle. We'll see you guys back right here on TTP Live.